a playlist original.
Welcome to Back to the Blockbuster, where the movies we love and sometimes love to hate take center stage. I'm Gaz. If it's trending, making headlines, or stirring up controversy in Hollywood, we're covering it. Let's roll. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Back to the Blockbuster with your host, Gaz and Jackson. Jackson's not with us today. Oh, it sounds like he died. No, he's just busy. He's just busy.
Unfortunately,
he's alive and well. He's just really busy today. But you guys know the drill. If he's not here, then Dustin is here with us to talk news. And we are on a bit of a time crunch today because he has another show to do right after this one.
I have two.
So, you have two. Okay. Well,
back to back.
A busy podcast bee today. So thank you for jumping in to help out.
Hey, my pleasure.
Because we wanted to talk about at least some of these before the stories got stale and while they were fresh. I know I put it last on the list in the text, but we probably should lead with the trailer for Dune Part 3, which came out yesterday. Another trailer, I guess it's the official. The first one that came out I think a month or two ago was a teaser. Even though it was like long enough to like be an official trailer, it was a teaser because I guess it didn't really give away much. This official trailer gives more context, a bit more like what we can expect in the story. They had a whole trailer like event for it in Los Angeles at the IMAX headquarters. Timothée Chalamet was there, and Denis Villeneuve was also in attendance as well. I love what these big movies that they're actually, when they have movies that like have trailers that they can make events around like their premieres of the actual movie. And this is like a time that we live in where like a 2.5 minute peak turns into like something that press is invited to like see first. But they did an IMAX. This is a IMAX film, and it's gonna get the IMAX screens that Avengers Doomsday is not gonna get when they're released on the same day in December.
So crazy.
I'm curious to know what you thought. I thought it was a good another look at the movie. It got me excited, it got me pumped, especially as it went along. I feel like the trailer got better as it progressed. But I was wondering what you thought. Does it feel epic? Can you not wait? How you feeling?
To me, it feels awesome. I watched it last night, like on my I had to do. I can't watch especially like the big trailers.
Like on the phone.
Yeah, I can't do it. I feel stupid, and I also feel like guilty a little bit, like on watching it on phone. Like, so I kind of wait until the end of the day, and I have a little time, and I threw it up on the big screen in my apartment, and with surround sound and shit, and cranked it a little bit.
Nice.
And the neighbors thought there was a sandworm probably coming through their
apartment
toilet or something. Dude, this is like I thought it was incredible. 2, I can't believe we're only getting 3 Dune movies, but maybe that's for the better. Maybe it's like there seems like that I guess there's 20 some odd books or something like that. That's what I was going to ask,
because I'm not really familiar with like the source material really, and I heard from other people that there are other stories they could adapt if they want to keep it going. But this being a trilogy kind of feels right for this part, I guess, of it.
I'm not super familiar either, but that would make sense because they could do like I bet you they have plans to do more like spin-off TV shows and maybe some other movies or something like that, which they should. That's great. That world is maybe this just the House of Atreides storyline or something, but I love the idea of them doing an event around a trailer. I think you need to get more creative for ways to keep the box office alive, which clearly is working. As we see this year, quality wins every time. And marketing. And dude, this thing looks Shakespearean in a way that's not boring. This thing looks like insane.
It's a good way of putting it, because like these kind of big, epic, grandiose kind of movies could, it's hard to convince people to go see like a space opera. It's not for everyone. I think a lot of people, at least with these movies, because I know for me, when I saw Dune, I liked it, and I liked it enough to be like, okay, I wonder how this will progress in the next movie, because I wasn't familiar with the source material, barely watched the David Lynch movie from the 80s. I know it's not really well received at all, but it wasn't until Dune Part 2 when I got through that I was like, oh, this feels like something that feels big, and like there's like so much, and they really expanded on that promise. And they're like, okay, there's more story to tell, like more characters are gonna get expanded on, and like I got into it based on that particular movie. So like it's a tough sell to get people in on this. So like I agree with you, like this does feel Shakespearean and kind of just like big and like prestige, and like it's like
dangerous
in the way it expresses itself, but it doesn't feel like boring at all. Like as the trailer went on, and like we get that kind of like epic chant, I guess like Timothy Chalamet recorded himself, that plays throughout the trailer. I was like, it gets you more pumped to to see how this is all going to end. And like it looks like we're gonna get some betrayals and like some other people that were once close, particularly Paul and Shawnee. Looks like that won't be the case because of especially what happened at the end of like Dune Part 2. So it's gonna that conflict's gonna be interesting to watch play out. And plus we got Robert Pattinson again playing
a fucking snake. Yeah, he's a fucking snake. Like him, like that's the thing. It's like, okay, that's why he's so good, right? Is he like you really love him in whatever it is, Good Time or the Batman or like or whatever it is, and then you really kind of like fucking hate him and whatever that Netflix movie was I referenced a couple episodes back.
The Devil All the Time.
The Devil All the Time, or The Odyssey, or this. And that's like a lot of with actors usually it's like you either really love that person or it's like I can't watch that motherfucker, because he played that such or whatever. But the hallmark of I wouldn't say a good actor, but we're getting into legendary territory here a little bit, I think, with him because
I think I kind of said I was on X yesterday and like someone shared like these 4 images of the movies he's in this year alone, and they were like, and they were comparing it to Zendaya. It was like someone put 4 pictures of her, 4 pictures of him in a separate post, and said like they were having like a generational run this year, and not even just talking about her, like she's a separate story. She is having a generational run this year, but I also think that with him, he is quickly become like probably one of the better actors of his generation, if not the best. Yeah, I mean, I love that he probably was always this good. He just had that Twilight label attached to him. He did like these big movies that weren't great, but they were like they were paycheck movies. They were well known internationally. I do love that he still references them. He's not ashamed of them. Because some people will do movies like that and know that they weren't well received critically and be like, oh, I really don't want to talk about that anymore. He made a reference to his character at the Odyssey premiere in an interview and said that he's kind of like, I like the Jacob, like, you don't really like, you're not supposed to really root for him, but like you want to root for him. And I was like, so he made a Team Jacob reference during a press interview for a bigger movie that's directed by Christopher Nolan. And like, I just love that he has no shame in like doing that. And like people who have worked with them is like Anne Hathaway and Tom Holland did an interview together for the Odyssey, and they were like, he's just so interesting because like he's in character, and then they'll be like cut, and then he'll be like do something silly, and then they'll be like, all right, action, and then he's back in character again.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like cut, and then he is doing something completely different that's silly, and they're like basically he's like a chameleon, but like it's not like he doesn't take his job seriously, but he's found like a lane to like be like, hey, like he's not method, I guess you could say. He can turn it on and off, and they find that charming, and I think that is kind of cool to watch. And it is. He is kind of on this like run this year alone.
Oh man,
that shows the full like his range is so massive. Like he can do anything.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. And imagine like too like for him what this does for the Batman, not only like pressure wise, right? Like, but he's good. He has a bunch more movies coming out. One being the To Catch a Predator guy, Chris Hansen.
Yeah, he has prime time in September,
which I can't wait for that, right? Yeah. And then all these other epic films, The Odyssey and whatever. And then by the time, and like all while doing press and then going back and shooting the Batman, it's like that's gonna be. I mean, what an incredible to put on the cape and cowl again at what will be the end of all of this. It's gonna be something else.
And to kind of have all this under your belt. And I know that when they had the London premiere on the 6th for the Odyssey, and he was filming the Batman Part 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
and then had to get all spruced up for this like big lavish premiere for the Odyssey. You know, and it's cool because it's like these are two different studios making this movie. You have Warner Brothers and Universal, and like, you know, both teams having to accommodate like, hey, we need him for this, but we also need him for this.
Yeah.
Like, can we work out scheduling? And that's how you know that studios aren't always at odds. They're like, hey, we're both using him right now, so let's make this work for both of us, because he at least needs to attend like one or two of these premieres, because like he is a big part of this movie. Yeah, and we know that like you've been waiting to film your movie for a while, and there's been delays, and we don't really take him completely away. So let's work out something that works out for both of us. And I think it's to be in his position, and not just his. I know like this, we're talking about the Dune trailer, but all these younger people who are like in this position right now, the Timothée Chalamet, the Zendayas, the Tom Hollands, who are seem like they are like hitting their stride.
Even Florence Pugh, really.
And even Florence Pugh too. Yeah. Even you know, Anya Taylor-Joy also in Dune Part 3. So like they're hitting their stride creatively, where they have so much power to do what they want. Yeah. And the respect of their respective like studios who are working with them, and you know, creatives who are working with them, that they are kind of willing to like, let's make this all work for them, so that, you know, it can benefit all of us. And I think that's a good thing.
No, I think every studio benefits from if those stars become bigger stars from other. I mean, you know, they all at the end of the day, right? It's competitive and whatever, but you want, you know, success usually in Hollywood's eyes begets more success. And so I think that to be able to coordinate schedules must be just like a fucking nightmare for this cast. Jesus. But a lot of this cast, well, some of this cast is in the Odyssey as well, and which is crazy, right? You have some crossover. Right. But the other thing I want to say about the Dune trailer too is I did read, I don't know, somewhere somebody wrote something so somewhere in the last 24 hours on the internet somewhere. I read it, and it was like, you know, this final piece of the trilogy is about the mistake of being desperate and trusting a charismatic leader, and how deadly that mistake can be. And I was like, oh shit, so wait, Timothée Chalamet's the bad guy? You know, like
I know it looks like it's veering that way, and you can kind of look at the trailer and kind of at least see hints of that. You know, because like, you know, you got hints of that too by the end of Dune Part 2, where it's kind of like that betrayal, you know, that Shawnee experiences with him. So like you get a sense of that, which I guess you kind of get shades of at in this trailer, where she is yelling at him and saying that she trusted him and all this other stuff, and there's definitely going to be like a disconnect between the two of them. Which, you know what, a lot of people, you know, because, you know, this is what people do on X, and when like a big trailer comes out, especially when they love a certain celebrity, and people love Zendaya, rightfully so. So everyone's kind of like, hey, like they're taking these little bits and moments and being like, can we finally give this girl like an Oscar nomination? And because it's not gonna happen for the Odyssey, because I heard from people that she's not even in it much. She's in like two or three scenes, and I know some people were like, well, why she do that movie if she's only in like 2 or 3 scenes and she's a bigger star? I think her train of thought was like, if Christopher Nolan's like, I want you, I would go down there for like 5 minutes and do it, because like, why not? Like that, you do it for the opportunity to maybe work with him again, and have a bigger role in something else. So it's not going to happen for that. But, you know, she had the drama earlier this year, which could pick up some like, you know, Golden Globe love. I think it came out too early in the year for kind of Oscar consideration, and it's more of a like black comedy, and sometimes those don't really play that well with the Academy. But this, you know, especially charting the character's growth from Dune Part 1, where she wasn't in it much at all, and she was just like basically like an apparition in the dream, to like her growth in Dune Part 2, and to what seems to be like a good character growth in this, could potentially happen. Like these movies have become more and more prone to getting more Oscar attention, and it seems like Dune Part 3, I know a lot of people have said this, but it's like Denis Villeneuve's like Return of the King if it was Lord of the Rings, where like, it's like, okay, like, hey, like this third one is a culmination of like all three of these things I put together. Now he probably wishes that his Return of the King wasn't coming out the same year as the Odyssey, because he's gonna be competing directly with that.
Well, at least there's like for award season, that's fucking shot. But like at least there's a few months theatrically though, which is, dude, it's so wild, because it's like I just realized that the Odyssey is taking all the IMAX screens away from Spider-Man, which is crazy.
Which apparently doesn't even need them because it's still tracking for like a 230 million plus weekend.
Unreal. I mean, I wonder if this is overall good or bad for IMAX, because it's like, hopefully they see the need. Because like, what do you do? Go to Dolby then? You know what I mean? For these big movies, it's like I don't really do anything except for IMAX. So
and since Nolan shot this exclusively with IMAX cameras, whatever deal they make with him is gonna be like, you get to have our screens for, maybe longer than most people would normally get them for. So like that's the kind of deal you make with someone like him.
Sure.
So kudos to him. But like, I think everyone looks good. I actually was surprised because, again, I don't know like the source material all that much, but I know Jason Momoa is going to be in this one, but this trailer had a lot of his character in it. He wasn't in the second one, but he was in the first one. And he has more. It looks like he has a lot to do in this, at least judging from the trailer. We did really get a lot of Anya Taylor-Joy. We do get like a shot of her. It looks like she's like covered in blood or something.
Screaming or something.
Screaming. Timothée Chalamet said that at the trailer drop that she is like amazingly good in the movie, though. That we like, it doesn't even like give like, I guess, a glimpse of what she does in the film. So like, that's exciting to learn. But yeah, like there were certain people that we didn't get to see a lot of. Like we saw a glimpse of like Javier Bardem, and not even like a lot of stuff of Florence Pugh that kind of shows what she does as an actress. But it seemed like the point was to like showcase certain people because maybe their roles directly affect like the conflict that's going on.
Yeah, and I think it was a very interesting trailer because for the way I interpreted it, right, was that Jason Momoa was actually kind of like betraying Paul a little bit, but then at the very end of the trailer, he kind of was like, "I'm telling you this because, it's like he's trying to help him, like, win whatever thing he's trying to win," and it actually looks like I'm confused as to what's going on. I like that, and also, do you know if Christopher Walken's going to be in this? Because he was in the very end of the last one. He's not
in the cast list.
Weird
for this one,
dude. I mean, they literally had Christopher Walken in a fucking robe for like 2 minutes. Like,
I know, and as he showed up, collected his paycheck, and left.
Oh my god! Like,
which is a boss move.
Yeah. What of all the cameos to get? That's a big one for 2 minutes in a robe. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I would do my Christopher Walken impression, but it probably won't go over well. But no, I think this thing is gonna just soar. I think even in the face of Doomsday, I think Doomsday will help. I think they're gonna help each other a lot, and I think that this thing just looks. I mean, honestly, dude, I'm ready to give it 5 stars without even seeing it.
Based on visuals alone, I mean, it looks like it's gonna be like a really well like shot movie. I mean, made for IMAX, of course. And it's interesting because Dune Part 2 made 715 million worldwide. This can hit $1 billion, I think, with like with the added like exposure of its like main cast, who's only become more popular since it came out. Plus, the Christmas time release also helps. That boosts box office a lot because of the holiday and like everyone's out of work and out of school, so like more people are going to the movies. So this can hit $1 billion. So a lot of people are just like a lot of people who want to pit these movies against each other. Yes, Doomsday is going to make more money than this. It's not a question of that. It is. Right. It's just it like they're just more. Marvel, the Avengers just has more of it. They're more. The fan base is more like diverse. Like it's less niche than the Dune franchise. But the Dune franchise has grown and the fan base has grown to the point where like $1 billion worldwide is a very distinct possibility for this one. Yeah, and honestly, to go out on a high note like that would be great. And I also am impressed because movies of this scope usually take forever to do. We got the first one in 2021, and we're getting this last one in 2026. I mean, that is a really great run of 3 epic movies of like huge
and a TV show too,
and a TV show to come out with in that relatively like small amount of time is crazy to me.
I think like, I don't know if it's this successful, but I think that I'll lump them both in. I think like the Avengers films and then the Dune films are like this generation's Star Wars, because Star Wars just fucking sucks. Like the new.
Well, now,
yeah, like the new
you got Obsession making more money than the last one. So yeah.
Yeah. But I do think it's funny to round out the Dune thing. It's like they're gonna make more in a different character with a different set of characters, or maybe some crossover or whatever, or maybe they go find. There are so many other stories to tell from what I understand. There's going to be TV shows. There's no way this thing makes $1 billion and they just kill it and they don't let it, breathe with other stories. So I think people who are big fans of it are finally maybe going to get their own franchise that's going to be, okay, now we're going off in this direction or whatever, which I think is amazing.
New cast members, new stories.
But just to kind of like, who doesn't want to live in that world a little bit longer? It's a shame it won't be with Denis Villeneuve because he'll be busy with Bond, but we'll see what happens. But I do want to say, with the Pattinson thing where you were talking about how he was on the red carpet and he made a joke about Twilight or whatever, a comparison. And I think we're almost to that point. I mean, 10, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, people will look back on his career and be like, he started, and it won't be like a goofy, embarrassing thing. Like he did this, and then he was the fucking Batman.
How he progressed, yeah.
And it won't be,
And I think he's actually earned the respect of his peers that he probably didn't have post Twilight. I think once he started doing those like independent movies, like Good Time and stuff like that, and he was able to build a filmography that showed that he was a very much a capable actor, that he started to earn the respect of his peers. But I respect anyone that doesn't like shit on their humble beginnings. I mean, I just like, it's like you wouldn't, I think he's fully aware of like he wouldn't have a career really to speak of without it. And like, for better or worse, they weren't great movies, but they were internationally well known and they made a lot of money. And I mean, he parlayed. I'm Taylor Lautner was very happy, also married to someone named Taylor. They have a podcast. They do really well, like on their own, like doing their own thing now. But he definitely parlayed that success better than like Taylor Lautner did. Taylor Lautner was supposed to be something big, post Twilight, and it could have been by choice that Taylor Lautner chose not to. It could have been like he was just like
maybe,
but it seemed like he was being like kind of lifted up to be this next big like hunky like Hollywood thing, and then
they kept giving him weird action movies that didn't go over well or whatever. And with Pattinson, I think he chose not to do those things. I think he chose he took the James Dean route. He's like, give me the weirdest fucking thing you got. What is it? Oh,
and honestly, Kristen Stewart did the same thing on the female side of it. Like once that was over, she did some quirky like kind of fun comedies like Adventureland and also to show that like she she had a sense of humor and all that.
She's incredible too, man.
But then she played Joan Jett and like that biopic and like kind of like did stuff that showed that, hey, guys, they both were like, they did movies that proved like we can actually act. And like you have to do that. Like, every like adaptation of a dystopian young like whatever or young adult novel is not they all can't be Hunger Games. So like
exactly.
Some of them earn respect where it's like, okay, this is like a good film, and the other ones are just like, well, that was good for the target audience. And that was made for them and not us. So like, I think that's what happened there. But I respect his career trajectory.
So
I'm glad that he got to be a part of this. I know that I love that story that he told when they were doing the drama together, that he just asked Zendaya, like, how do I get into one of those movies? And then she jokingly was like, well, I know a guy. And then like, and then that joke kind of like went off. She was like, I actually didn't like, all I was asked by Denis Villeneuve was what it was like working with him, and I was honest. And then that turned into that. Like, she didn't go up to him and was like, hey, put my boy in the movie.
That's amazing. Do you think we get another Dune trailer? Obviously, probably one more before.
The one I think how a lot of these studios now, right before pre-sale tickets go on sale, they release like a final like minute and a half
tickets on sale now.
I think that's what we're gonna get. I don't think they want to show too much of it. Although I do like from the trailer, because like Robert Pattinson's character looks like he is working to dethrone Paul, and the trailer seems to indicate that he's going to use Shawnee, like Zendaya's character, as a way to do that. Is that what we're kind of getting the impression from that? Which it's all kinds of epic because like, I mean, there's like all that love there, and then all that betrayal, and like
and also like he married Florence Pugh at the end of the last one, but he told Zendaya, he told Zendaya like, I'll always be you, no matter what I say, I'll always love you, blah 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 blah, which is like whatever. Plus, I think this one takes place, what they say, 17 years after the last one?
I believe so. Yeah.
This
so
is
a lot of time for all that bad blood to be like boiling. So
yeah.
yeah.
I can't wait.
Looks good. It looks good. I mean, this might be a like weird question or dumb question to ask you. I think more of a question for me is like, unless I get to see either one for work first, like which one do you see first? Do you think most people choose to see first? Do they choose Dune Part 3 or do they choose Avengers Doomsday?
Doomsday.
Yeah. And then someone actually put on there online. Someone was like, "We've gotten 2 epic Dune trailers, and we haven't gotten a full Avengers Doomsday trailer at all. I'm worried." But then today they did announce that Marvel and Avengers Doomsday are going to be in Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con. So I think whatever we are going to get, we're going to get it there.
But I don't think we're gonna.
I'm going to that, so like that'll be exciting.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll be texting you and shit. So because I want to know, but like
you're like send me stuff now.
Well, I mean, yeah, I just want to know what it feels like in that room. I actually want to go.
Oh, it's crazy. I was in there when they announced Robert Downey Jr. as being Dr. Doom, and even though people might in the room thought it was a silly, dumb idea, they didn't show it in the room. They were just excited that he showed up. And they I mean, like that.
I want to go for my podcast for Sex Party and just do like fun, like horny little like cosplay. Yeah, like whatever. And there's a lot of cool events here in Chicago too, like C2E2 and all like Wizard World or whatever the fuck. But I think if we get a trailer first of all, I think very well played by Marvel. Let everyone else shoot their loads first. And then and then you drop hopefully it's a 2.5 minute trailer, which it probably won't be, but and it just blow our heads off, But the thing is I think they'll drop it at Comic-Con, and I still don't think that we'll get it on. I don't think we'll get it online. I think that might be the case too.
And the worst is like when you work the event like that, because I worked it several times, and like you having to feed your outlet because like it's easier for you to feed from your phone and get someone else to write it.
Sure.
Like you're basically sitting notes, so like you're having to describe what you're watching on screen or what you saw on screen. And like to the best of your abilities, like you're trying to be like, all right, there's this, there's that, and hoping that you didn't miss anything.
There's so much excitement, people screaming.
And like you're trying hard to concentrate, and like honestly, also you're in a room packed with people, and everyone is trying to do that thing to various degrees. Either people are doing it for work in the room, people are doing it as a fan in the room, trying to send this stuff out. So service is also a bitch when you're trying to send this stuff out. Dude. So like it's a lot, but like I mean usually they don't really put it online right away. They try to build all the excitement from the people that were there. They kind of like this is the same thing with like CinemaCon when they show footage there. But yeah, I think that it is smart to kind of build to this whole, because Hall H, and even people that don't know Comic-Con know that Hall H is like a big deal because that's where the biggest TV shows and movies go. And they have prime timing, I guess, on the day that they have it. So like it'll be good. I mean, like I think the only thing they really will tease there will be Avengers Doomsday, because Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out that following weekend. They don't really need to tease that, and they also share that with Sony. I don't know how they would really what they would want to do with it.
Well, maybe they'll announce like the in between slate, because there's a movie or two that's scheduled, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so they have to do that too.
Doctor Strange 3.
And then, well, they remember they greenlit a fucking like Shang-Chi 2, and that's been developed. But at least they gave the director Spider-Man Brand New Day, because like they're like, dude, yeah, we know we promised you a sequel to one of the better standalone Marvel movies that's come out in a while.
What a fuck up that was. Yeah.
But I mean, it looks like he turned out to be a good choice for Brand New Day, which is David. Like,
oh my god,
they said that his style was like better for the whole like street level, more practical. You know, like I'm excited for what this has to bring. I'm excited for what Dune Part 3 has to bring. I love,
dude, being a film
they're
fan.
making an event out of it. Like when you give the trailer a premiere, like a premiere that had like press and guests there, like that's how you know. But I agree with you. I agree with Marvel. Like let them all shoot their loads first, and we'll just bide our time until
and then bam, some random Tuesday you're gonna get a fucking
I know. We'll show you all these old school X-Men in the trailer, get you all like pumped for that. Like they'll give everyone like a little bit of everything. So,
you know what I mean? They know what they're doing, and they have the IP. Look, we're 1 or 2 Marvel movies away from Marvel completely turning it around and everyone being like, "Oh, I always love Marvel. I never said any bad thing about you."
And they actually gradually kind of been doing right because Thunderbolts was well received. They got good reviews. I don't think it did as well as maybe they hoped because people were still like, I don't know. And also, no one really knows who.
Who are these people, right? Yeah.
Fantastic Four did well, but also there again apprehension, like we don't know. But I think
they should have thrown Fantastic Four instead of throwing the Eternals in that time slot.
Yeah, I mean, also growing up is realizing the Eternals wasn't that bad. I think in the theater, I was like, in the theater, I was like, this is boring. It's all get out. And then when I watched it it a few times since then, and it's much better than we gave it credit for. And the fact that we are not going to see them probably ever again, and like we wasted that cast, we wasted Angelina Jolie in the MCU movie. Like she could have been like a big part of the MCU.
Kumail Nanjiani got fucking ripped as fuck for no reason.
Or nothing. You had Richard Madden, like from Game of Thrones. Like, it had a really good Brian Tyree Henry. Like, it had a really good cast that we like.
I think we'll get something in Secret Wars from them, I think.
Yeah, and then I'm wondering, like, remember like all those other cameos they teased? Like Harry Styles got the tease at the end of something, and then Charlize Theron got teased at the end of that second Doctor Strange movie. Like, are we just forgetting that, or?
That was too many cooks in the kitchen, bro. I think they took way too much off of Feige, or I don't know. Feige tried to take a break or something, and it was like it didn't work out well. And then you had,
he was like, "What happened while I was gone?"
Well, and now also too, they're what happened while I was gone? What did you kids do to the house? Yeah.
A whole bunch of shit.
But like, Disney they tried so hard to bolster Disney Plus before it like launched, and it was like,
was the problem was the TV shows. Like that was like, I mean, it started off well with WandaVision, which I thought was good, still the best one they've done. And then I even fucked with like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I was like, that was pretty.
Oh, dude,
for what it was.
I like all of them, but the problem is they don't know how to end a TV show properly, and they never use the full hour, bro. Go 56 minutes. What's this 46 minutes shit? Stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then I also made the mistake of making people believe or feeling like, oh, I can't keep up with these movies anymore without having watched these shows.
Yeah.
And that's and honestly, that I don't think that should be the case. That's when I think you feel like you have so much power and authority over your audience that they'll watch anything to get caught up on what we're doing. And I think they learned that was like, that's not the case. Like some people were like, no, I don't want to watch Ms. Marvel. Like no offense to the young girl who plays her, who's a comic book fan. You can tell that she loves it. Like she was born to play that part. But like, everyone's not going to watch that or Moon Knight or like whatever, if it's not. And I hate with some of those characters that like Moon Knight, you had Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac doesn't know if he'll play that character again. And I was like, well, that's another waste of like a good actor.
And it's probably one of the more interesting characters, like the dissociative identity disorder and the ancient Egyptian shit. Like who the fuck doesn't want to watch 10 seasons of that in 2 movies? Come on, dude. Like it's weird where their priorities were. So I think that was part of it. But look, it's gonna take, like I said, if Doomsday is a success, which I think it will be regardless, but if it's really good, if it's like, oh god, like people are gonna be nostalgic. And they can wipe the slate clean. They can rewrite the timeline, bring Colby Smulders back. I mean, Secret Invasion never happened.
Pretend like it didn't happen because no one liked it. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Also, this is gonna sound so bad because it was a serious thing that happened. Do you think that they wish that Jonathan that they kind of were like that Jonathan Majors stuff was like a blessing in disguise? Because like they definitely like changed directions once he got in trouble. Because they were going all in on Kang. We had the Kang dynasty all dated and ready to go, had a release date, and then he got in trouble. And then they were like, how do we fix this? And then they went back to the Russo well. They went back to the Robert Downey Jr. well. And I know Secret Wars was going to be like kind of the end game. That was always there. But I wonder how much course correction went on behind the scenes when they were like, okay, we can't do this, so now we got to do this.
I mean, they said like, okay, people aren't responding to Kang as this big threat. Speak for yourself.
When they had him get beat up by Ant-Man, which is fine. Like I think that was part of
a big mistake.
That was, even though I kind of like that movie more than most people did. Like,
oh really?
But it was silly. It was silly to have this person who you're building up as like the new big bad, like the new Thanos, basically.
And I think
he got whooped by Ant-Man and his crew.
Well, and that's the whole thing, right? Is like they rushed out that second season of Loki, like while the court people were like typing up the what the charges were going to be, because he was like, we got to get this out of here. That way it's out, and then we can say he's gone before the verdict comes down. So they rushed through all that shit with Victor Timely, which dude was a fucking great character, great season, all of that.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I think they should have had him come hot into fucking, there's a whole conversation with him and Ant-Man where he's like, have I killed you? Are you the one with the hammer or whatever? And I think at the end, to be real, at the end of Ant-Man 3, I think that Kang should have killed Ant-Man, or at least it looked like that, or sent him deeper into some quantum realm crap or whatever, just to establish dominance. Like, I've killed one of these Avengers. Maybe post-credit shows that he's not really dead, he's whatever, but like to have it the other way around where he gets beat by ants and then beat by Ant-Man, that was wild. And then I think that they should have had
that's
Kang,
the threat.
Yeah, they should have had Kang probably kill Thor too, as much as beloved as Thor is. I mean, I thought Kang was a really tricky, scary, totally different than Thanos kind of thing. I was kind of like really excited for it. I don't see where they say, "Oh, people weren't responding to it." Bullshit. But I do think
what they weren't responding to more than him as a whole was the whole I think the multiverse thing started to confuse like non-comic book fans. I mean, I think even the way they were doing it was confusing comic book fans. I think the approach to the previous phase was more thought out, and then this one maybe it felt thought out on paper, and but I think it got muddled somewhere down the line, but I also think the big muddledness of it was the TV shows. I think
greed, number one, not from Feige, but from the guy, but like I think Avi Arad or whoever it was, or Perlmutter or whoever the fuck it was at Disney. Number one, greed, but number two, like you got to think, like people shit on Marvel so hard, and the one thing I'll say is, bro, like they saved the box office for legit 10 years, and they had to endure the greatest, most successful cinematic universe, followed by a once in 100-year pandemic, a writer's strike, an actor's strike, their lead big bad getting in trouble legally, right? All of these things pull down and mess with things, and I don't think that one of those things alone would kill a franchise, a studio, whatever. They had to deal with all of that, and it's kind of like, come on, man! Like, give them
and they just kept like at least cranking stuff out, even if and honestly, for entity studio as powerful as they had become, like they even had clunkers early on in like their run. I mean, like people like forget about the Incredible Hulk because it came out the same year as Iron Man, and like it wasn't as well received or didn't do as well as Iron Man did.
Yeah, they weren't calling for Feige's head back then, like they're calling for James Gunn after Supergirl.
And I kind of hate after Endgame, it was like, oh well, it all went down here after Endgame. Like, no, not necessarily. We had Shang-Chi, which was like really good, did really, really well, and like a post kind of like pandemic kind of world where like box office was like getting back together, and like
Far From Home came out,
and then like No Way Home came out, so like there was that, and then also even something like the Turtles, which might have lost money but still had like an $80 million opening weekend. This was characters that no one really knew anything about, so there's that. So I'll say this, and I'm sorry to any fans of DC, but they handled all those little fucking conundrums better than DC probably would have handled it.
Yeah, DC can barely fucking make Superman work. The fuck is going on?
I just found out that they're skipping Comic-Con. There no looks at Men Tomorrow aren't Clayface, so probably for the best. They probably don't want to go through the public like shaming of like what could happen with Supergirl.
I'm starting to get a little. It is a little suspect though that there's, like you said last time we recorded, there's nothing besides Man of Tomorrow on the film pipeline.
Yeah.
Weird. I mean, it's weird, dude.
Unless they're keeping it to themselves.
Or they're probably just rewriting the whole thing, because
they're probably back to the drawing board kind of thing.
Well, they got lanterns, they got Clayface. I think those will both.
And they got that Jimmy Olsen TV show that I was like, why are you building that out? I mean, more than your main whatever. It might work.
Watch it actually be good because it's so weird and it's just James Gunn thing.
It's so offbeat. Like, okay, well that's cute, I guess. But
they're getting chicks together or some weird.
Yeah. Where's this fit into the greater universe? But whatever. I'll allow it. But yes, guys, Dune Part 3 comes out on December 18th. I know we went on a tangent. But and other news, I guess big would be big epic news for a lot of people who love crime thrillers, especially ones directed by Michael Mann from back in the day. Yeah, we know that Heat 2 is happening, for better or worse.
Yes.
The original starred Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, came out in 1995, a classic of the genre.
Mm-hmm.
And we already knew that they were going to be doing the sequel. There were a lot of rumors who's going to be in it. Leonardo DiCaprio is attached officially, and Christian Bale confirmed that they are both part of Heat 2. Not specific parts they're playing. I guess that's still up in the air, but I've heard speculation on who they could be playing. Maybe you might be able to maybe fill in on that. But they said other characters, DiCaprio and Bale are either locked or this close to being locked in, so probably they need to sign more. What are we getting? Apparently this budget for this movie is massive, which is why it got sold off to another studio. They were like, well, we're not going to put $175 million in this, but maybe someone else will. So they said Bale is probably playing Vincent Hanna, who was originally played by Pacino.
Yeah.
They said DiCaprio is probably playing Val Kilmer's character, which is I guess pretty interesting casting there.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of cool with. Adam Driver is in negotiations to play the primary antagonist, Ordis Wardell, in the film.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stephen Graham of The Irishman and Adolescence. Adolescence was that really good Netflix miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
He will be taking over for De Niro's character. And I guess these are all deals that are close, very close to happening. And then also I heard that I'm gonna get her name wrong. The girl from Obsession, Indy
Never Ready.
Never Ready. There we go.
Yeah.
She had a meeting with Michael Mann, and this is the only thing he's doing right now. So
get it.
That's promising.
Get it.
So yeah, there's that. How do you feel about who's locked in, and are you even excited for Heat 2?
I mean, you and I did an episode on Heat.
About Heat, yeah.
And we did an episode on Collateral, and my theory is that Michael Mann
has
a shared universe. And I know I have a gut feeling on this Heat 2 thing. You're going to get a chance to interview him. And dude, you got to ask.
I got to ask him.
Ask him, hey, do all of your films take place in a shared universe? Because Collateral definitely has the same DNA as Heat, right? So you got to ask. But yeah. I'm excited for this. Christian Bale as Pacino's character seems a little odd to me. I know that it's supposed to work as a prequel and a sequel. Yeah, so that's good. I'm intrigued as to where is this an idea that they're going to farm out the origin stories of De Niro and Pacino's characters, and then also see what happens after the bank thing. Is there another heist? Well, I guess too,
because the novel itself, like you said, it works as a prequel and sequel to the film Heat, and it covers the formative years of homicide detective Vincent Hanna and criminals Neil McCauley and Chris tongue tied Sherhurlis. Sure. I think I just had a stroke. The novel's prologue is set immediately after the film's ending, before moving to 1988, and then 1995, 96, and then 2000 through multiple locations in North America, South America, and Southeast Asia. So there's a lot, I guess, to kind of build from.
Moving around a lot.
It is interesting because when I saw Leonardo DiCaprio, I was like, I wouldn't have guessed that they would have I mean, I guess I would be based on the look and all that. He would.
De Niro. That's what I thought.
Right? But then they went with Val Kilmer's character, Chris, and And for when we talked about it, when we talked about Heat, even though that was a supporting role and not as much screen time as his counterparts in the movie, but Val Kilmer just eats that part up. Like takes advantage of every bit of screen time he has in it. And not saying
Val Kilmer does.
Yeah, and he had a rep for that, for better or worse. Some people loved working with him, others did not. Rest his soul. But DiCaprio, can he capture? I think this is gonna be a dumb question because he can act, but like, does he capture that same like oomph that Val Kilmer had in Heat?
I don't think it. I think that each one of these people is gonna do a different take on it. I don't think we're gonna get what the line that Pacino screams like, she's got a great ass or whatever. Like, I don't think we're gonna get a version of Christian
Bale could. I mean, we've heard him scream.
Yeah.
I'll
trash your fucking lights. Yeah. I just don't think that
Terminator Salvation lore for people that didn't know.
Yeah. And I think the Neil McCauley, the Robert De Niro's character, and I've said it before, but I got to get it in there again because I'm a Chicago boy. But like his character is literally based on a real Neil McCauley from Chicago, and I think who was a criminal and was doing like stick-up jobs and heists and shit. And I do think that they're going to maybe shoot part of this here in Chicago, which I'm excited for. So I think that everybody is going to probably do their own versions of it. And I don't know how, I mean, you don't pay for Bale and you don't pay for fucking, DiCaprio without utilizing them to the fullest. So is this Val Kilmer's character like hopping around the world and doing things, and then Bale's trying to track him down, and like, I mean, like, that could be cool. That could be cool, I guess.
Yeah,
I just don't know what this is, and like that,
I think that's kind of like what are you giving us kind of thing.
Yeah, but the thing is like it's Michael Mann. He's like his movies are usually divisive in the theaters. Like, well, that was good, but I wish it would have been more. Like, that seems like what people always think about his movies. But then they have aged better than some masterpieces that were perfect in the theater, right? I mean, dude, Collateral gets better every day. You can't go on Instagram or Twitter without seeing 400 clips from Heat. You know what I mean, or whatever. And so it's just good.
It's a masterpiece at this point. Like, people like.
Yeah,
it's a pinnacle of its genre. Yeah, and for those that aren't really familiar with Stephen Graham from The Irishman and Adolescence, he was also Tommy in Snatch, like earlier in his career. People like the Guy Ritchie movie, so I could see him kind of channeling a young De Niro.
it's a weird choice for me.
I think it's because like these original characters are so locked into our brains as we grew up with Heat, and I think it's kind of hard to see. The one person that will not have this problem is Adam Driver, who's going to be playing someone that we're
brand new character.
With, so, and also really very good at I can see him playing a hell of an antagonist and something like he's already done it. And like
the guy
that's a sillier, not silly, but he's done it in a Star Wars movie which isn't as heavy. So so imagine him doing it in a movie that's heavier. So I can see him
more. Well, I think the guy who is playing, I keep forgetting his name when you say it, De Niro's character. He also played Stephen Graham. He also played very talented guy. I think he's kind of the wrong choice for De Niro, but we'll see. He also played Al Capone in Boardwalk Empire for 5 seasons. So. You might know.
So the thing is, so the issue isn't like talent. It's just a matter of like, do you see these people, as they're younger versions of these other people? And the one that I can't see the most is Bale as Pacino, and I'm stretching that one, by the way. But I can see it more than the other.
Bale and DiCaprio's characters are still alive for the what happens after, and actually Robert De Niro's character is not. So Stephen Graham, maybe he's got a smaller part to play in the beginning, and then that's it for him. So maybe it does work out that way, I'm really excited about this, but just because it's Michael Mann, it's fucking Heat too. Do we need it? No. Do we want it? Yes.
Like, don't ruin this.
I don't think
they don't. I don't think that budget needs to be as big. $175 million is insane.
And like he said, he's always had an idea for Heat 2, so that's good. I mean, it was weird.
That's why Warner Brothers was like, we'll sell this to someone else that wants it for that much. Like we can't invest. Like, we love the idea. And I mean, I'm sure they did not like letting go of a potential movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Christian Bale, but like that for a movie like this, that it's an insane budget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
like, what are you blowing up that you need that? Yeah.
I know. Nothing. But I do like these actors, and I like Michael Mann as a filmmaker, so I'm in based on that.
Yeah, I'm into 100%.
And we're also basing this on, like, what we see these people as and what we know before, and trying to imagine them as those people that we knew from a 1995 movie. So, like, it's a little hard for us to put together in our brains.
But hey, you got a once in a lifetime chance for a popcorn bucket here, guys, where you can just have a duffel bag that they use to rob the bank, and that's the popcorn bucket.
Does it shoot popcorn? Or is there just money in it?
you open it up, the whole thing's full of popcorn.
Popcorn, yeah. Also, and like Leonardo DiCaprio's never done a sequel, right? So like, or like, he seems like he's never done, like, that's not his that's not his bag. So like,
he would say, I've never come back for a sequel. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So this must be good for him to like latch on to like an IP, but like, something that's been done before, and like especially something that has like as much credibility as Heat does, for him to like, all right, I want to do this follow up.
Yeah.
Because Leonardo DiCaprio has never been in the fun stage of his career. He's always been like, he had that early in his career and just has always been serious. He's not like Gyllenhaal and Gosling, who are like, I want to make fun movies now. I did the whole like trying to get an Oscar and being the depressed, moody white kid in the movie, and like, y'all don't want that no more. So I'm gonna do this. DiCaprio did the early silly stuff like when he was younger, and then now he has to look back. We won't get like The Beach from him anymore, or The Man in the Iron Mask. Like that's not happening.
It's really beneath him. Yeah. That's great.
These next three stories are kind of connected because they're kind of connected through this whole like YouTube filmmaker thing, but I guess we'll start with Obsession. And I know this has been a topic of debate online. Obsession becoming the highest grossing film with a budget of under $1 million in the US. Like, and this is like talking worldwide, because it's grossed over $400 million on a $750,000 budget. That puts it ahead of 1993 Bruce Lee martial arts film Enter the Dragon, which cost $850,000 to make and has made $400 million over several re-releases, by the way. But still pretty cool. There's been like a lot of the numbers for like Paranormal Activity, Blair Witch Project thrown in. Some people are like, well, there's their original budgets, and then the budgets that kind of got tacked on when like they got picked up by other studios and got marketing thrown in. Some people don't buy this. Other people are like, hey, we're just talking pure film budget. Either way, it's a grand success, and I don't think we should get all technical about it claiming this title.
That's amazing.
It's like, they did not expect this movie. I think they were probably hoping for 50 million in the US alone, which would have been great for like,
my God,
and now they have it's made almost 250 million here and over 400 million worldwide. So good for them, and good for them for claiming that record. And it's good to see indie movies win, especially indie horror movies.
And we're gonna get so many more of them now, and that's,
I know
that's a good thing.
Our last two stories are about like you can tell like the studios were like, go find me the next big YouTube thing.
Exactly. I think that, like, I saw somebody, there's this discourse where it's like, I saw a tweet from someone and they were like, there's no way that I'm accepting that this movie of all movies is going to dethrone Blair Witch or Paranormal Activity from a budget standpoint, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, why, why can't we?
Like, they are, girl.
And also it was a girl. But also too, like that should be the trifecta, right? It should be Blair Witch, Paranormal Activity, and Obsession. Like, those are like, you made through, and honestly, I believe what it's made for versus what it makes is how you should categorize that. I mean, from a fiscal standpoint, sure, include all the marketing, include all the whatever, but what did you make the movie for? Because that's usually where the the hangups get. And the other discourse is that Indy Navarrete is apparently taking meetings with Marvel, and everyone's like, "Oh,
as she should."
Dude, okay, and I want to say this like to everyone listening.
Let that girl make her money. I mean, like last year she was door dashing and like playing like fucking. She was streaming whatever they do video games.
Walking dogs.
I guess
shit,
and walking dogs, and she was playing video games online to make money. So like supplement her fucking income. So
but dude, like I'm a
what the hell
film fan. I'm a movie fan, and it's like why? But why can't we have both? I hate this thing where it's like I hate big budget tentpole movies, and I only want indie movies. Good for you, but don't like shit on everybody. Like, dude, I love the fact that one weekend I can go and see a Marvel movie, a big popcorn blowout thing, and then go see an Obsession or the following weekend, or even something like a Leviticus or something that's just that was made for a fraction of whatever. I just love the medium, right? We don't shit on people for going to Obsession and then going to Toy Story. So why would you shit on people for, dude, she's an actor, to do Obsession and then be taking roles potentially for these, talks for roles for these intentionally, just like pop culture iconic characters is such a dude.
She took a meeting with Michael Mann, and then she took a meeting with the guy who's attached to direct X-Men. So like
she's in Somber's new music video, like that, it's fucking great. It's great. I'm really happy for her.
And that's what, and like honestly, like I'm sure like everyone involved with this movie will be incredibly grateful to it, but they will want to move on from it eventually. Yeah. And honestly, if the stars align for the movie, if it carries this all the way through award season and actually gets nominated for like major awards, they will want to forget about it after that. Like once the ride is completely over, then they will move on to like their other stuff. But like they clearly, from what I've seen like online and the way they've been promoting, even like it being released at home, they haven't really they've been proud of it. They aren't annoyed with talking about it. They're gonna ride it till the wheels fall off, and then they'll move on to their next project. And that's how and honestly, I think that's the difference between being young and grateful and being like young or old and entitled and being like, well, dude, I don't want to talk about that anymore. Like, well, it's kind of like in the
how we know you
right now. So and they seem like they are cool with that. So
I agree.
Like more power to them. And for other people that want to know other highest grossing movies made for under $1 million, and we already mentioned Enter the Dragon, but The Blair Witch Project, $248.6 million worldwide, $750,000 budget. Rocky, $225 million worldwide, budget $1 million. Paranormal Activity, $194.2 million worldwide, $450,000 budget. American Graffiti, $140 million worldwide, $777,000 budget. Damn. And then another The Way of the Dragon, $130 million worldwide, $130,000 budget. So like, I mean, pretty good, solid company to be in. I know, like I saw some of the discourse too, because a lot of people keep throwing Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch in the direction of this movie, and they're like, well, like, is it pure like production budget, or is that production budget mixed in with marketing? Like, you know what? It wouldn't be reported as widely as it is if they weren't willing to sandbag like their numbers. And it's still playing well. It's still playing well in theaters. I think it said a record for especially for a horror movie, 66 days straight of grossing more than $1 million like each day that it's been out. And it's just now starting kind of wane because it's available at home. So good for them.
Yeah, I agree.
But as you said, with success comes like wanting to capture the success again. There is a movie that's based on artwork that is inspired by an internet phenomenon that is coming from director Zach Cregger, who is writing it, and director Brian Duffield, I guess. It's based on the viral Siren Head meme, which I did not know anything about until I saw this story. But it's an internet sensation based on a 2018 illustration by Trevor Henderson, which evolved into a character that has featured in fan-made animation stories and video games. The character is a tall, skeletal being with Cyrus for a head and has become the latest Gen Z sensation to make it to the big screen. I guess I can give you a little bit more backstory on what this thing is, because I was like, I don't understand it. My brother knew what it was, so I guess that's another disconnect between me being old and him not. It revolves around hand-drawn monsters digitally composited into real photographs. The character is a roughly 40-foot tall, gaunt, emaciated humanoid figure, a predator hunting in rural towns and wooded areas across North America, which blends into environments and emits creepily distorted audio broadcasts to confuse and lure in prey. Sounds scary though.
It does, and I saw people complaining like this thing looks ridiculous. How are they gonna make a movie? But dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
stop
or
doubting.
Other things have been done, right?
Yeah, like stop doubting. Like why as critics or whatever, the fucking influencers or whatever, why after everything Obsession has done, after everything, like I mean, dude, like they had like a bunch of movies about Slender Man and shit or whatever,
and they were shitty.
They were terrible.
They wasted that opportunity. Like, I mean, somebody come in, not now, but maybe years from now, and like swoop in and remake that, because like that was a pretty scary idea on its own that they made into a shitty, like, you know, January and his DNA horror film that should have been like much better than it was. Yeah.
But I mean, the weirder the better, and I love these two concepts: the giant weird head guy, and then there's the other one with the actually the other one, the one with the badly drawn people inserted into real life. That one looks fucking nuts. That one, whatever it's called.
The other one that's also because Steven Spielberg, not to be left out of a movement, because you know, clearly he's like, I might be old guard, but I know that the new guard is kind of swooping in. And he also, I love that Steven Spielberg is not only a filmmaker, but he is a producer. So he's like, I want to make some money as well.
Well, it helps him stay relevant too, you know.
It does. And so he snatched up the rights along with United Arts Scott Stuber to the YouTube horror series The Mandela Catalogue. They won the film rights to the viral YouTube horror series following a highly competitive 11 studio bidding war. The other one, Siren Head, also was involved in a very like major bidding war, I guess privately. And so the Mandela Catalogue is set in the fictional Mandela County, Wisconsin, which is invaded by shape-shifting, nearly immortal creatures called alternates. Appeared in 2021, the Mandela Catalogue has amassed well over 100 million views across its official episodes alone, making it one of the largest original analog horror franchises on YouTube. Someone messaged me on Instagram after I posted that story, said that it's probably one of the best analog horror things on the platform. So, so I think it's cool that Spielberg was like, was one of those guys who's like, find me something.
Absolutely, yeah, and he's been such a good, or at least he's starting to emerge as like such a good shepherd of great film, no matter what that looks like for younger people, and like moving it, you know, and this generation. I mean, of course, like look at how this generation and the generation before it, which I guess is us, I'm not sure, but like look how we grew up with. It's like, not, of course our jam is horror, you know what I mean? And so, I think that people are recognize. I mean, dude, if you got Steven Spielberg getting involved in buying up rights to YouTube analog horror, then you're in a really good place right now, because you know, and I'm so excited. I don't care what it is. These are talented people. Zach Cregger, like Spielberg, like fucking. I mean, these YouTubers who have created these things and poured such love and probably so many sleepless nights and have made themselves sick working on it because they're not eating and they're forgetting to drink water and they're stressed about budget, and like this is finally paying off. I mean, what a fucking does it get any more beautiful than that, you know?
Right. And honestly, to be the ones that get in on this early rather than before it gets old, because like, you know, my I don't say fear, I guess my concern is that like most things, when it becomes a fad, like, you know, and we see this kind of happen in waves across a lot of genres. Like, you know, like in horror, when Scream became big, it was like, oh, let's make everything meta and self-referential. So then we got I Know What You're Doing This Summer. We got Urban Legend. We got Valentine. We got a bunch of movies that were like that. And then that died.
Shout out Urban Legend. Love you.
Yeah, I like Urban Legend too. Don't get me wrong. It's so Scream, but it's good. It holds its own. It holds its own in the fight. And then the Blair Witch Project happened, and it was like, all right, we need a bunch of found footage horror movies, and then that died off, and then kind of like stuck around for a little bit where you had hits every now and then there was a whole like, all right, let's remake horror movies from like the 70s and 80s, and then that worked for a while, and then that died off. So And then like if you're talking about other things, like maybe it became like all the rage to like adapt all these young adult dystopian kind of stuff, like with Hunger Games and Maze Runner and like all that. Everyone was like looking for like, let's find like what young adult novel can I adapt that people, to the point where they could even finish that Divergent film series, because like that last movie they got split into 2 movies, flopped so bad that they could even like make the conclusion of that. So like it all comes in waves. A part of me think that this wave might be a little different because this is more of a creative wave rather than like a type of film being made. Like I guess they don't all have to be like, even though a lot of these movies and a lot of these YouTube series are kind of their beginnings seem to be in horror. They don't necessarily all have to be. You can look for some of this YouTube stuff, these filmmakers that are doing things within like comedy, satire. Like you can find some other like angle into it that's also creative. So I guess that's why I don't think it could be a way that might die out. But that's my only concern, is that like, okay, like, we always talk about how Hollywood learns the wrong lessons, and we made that joke about like old execs being like, go to Reddit, go find what's big on Reddit, go find me a story, or like go to YouTube, go find me the next big thing. And it seems that's what's going on right now. But I don't begrudge them getting discovered this way, because like you said, they poured their heart and souls into this, and now with people like Curry Barker and Kane Parsons like becoming huge, I'm sure all these people kind of see like, oh, there is an opportunity for my stuff to get discovered, and I can have my own obsession and my own backrooms, and that's great.
Yeah, and I also think like this is a change. This is coming along at a time that's very, very different, because Hollywood, a lot of production was moving out of LA and out of California, and now people see that how horrible that's been for LA and California. So, the political machine has moved back to like issuing permits, and I won't go into all of it because time constraints, but like you can get a micro permit if you're like, it doesn't even matter if you're shooting on a phone, you can file and get like a micro permit and like have a piece of like a block for 8 hours for a certain thing and whatever. And they're adapting to that because I believe we're witnessing a changing of the guard as these studios merge and become more politically motivated. Is it any coincidence that you've got tiny indie films popping up that have these like great big, messages of isolation or as far as obsession goes, it's like there's a lot of different messages there. A lot of them dealing with things that people deal with and
go through. It's grounded in reality, but like fictionalized in the way where you can still find it entertaining, but
those are the terrible,
something meaningful from it.
That's what's scary about the films, is that they're based on real things. And the other piece of it is that these films, whether it's a horror, and I think people probably start to go in more of like a thriller direction. I think you're going to find your next Christopher Nolan on YouTube probably, where it's like the thriller genre and the horror genre can be done incredibly cheap. So I think this is the new Hollywood. I think people have been looking for it for 30 years. Oh, well, who's going to be next? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I think it works outside of the studio system for a little while, until it establishes its own. And this is your next big filmmaker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now you have like, this is an exaggeration, but now you have people being like, find me a homie that can make a movie for $10. Like that kind of like, that's what they want. That can make something like look like $30 million for $200,000.
Yeah.
And honestly, like with Obsession, it doesn't look like a $750,000 movie. It looks like it was made for more than that.
Yeah.
So, and these people, they hone their craft by turning like, his short film Milk and Cereal was like an $850 budgeted movie, and he would, and that looks, I widely watched it online, it looks like more than that, and like that, and that's because they were used to working with nothing, so they have the time and patience to go like, okay, I only have this much dollar to like stretch out, so how can I stretch it out to the point where it looks as good as it can look? And now you're taking those sensibilities to studios who have way more money to play with, but they don't like losing it or spending it if they don't have to.
Yeah.
Unless like they think that they're gonna like it's gonna be a huge windfall, and then they'll give like $180 million to Supergirl. But like it just depends on like, I guess, the studio and like the production team, filmmakers, and all that stuff. But yeah, I think you are seeing this kind of like new thing where they're like, hey, these guys aren't just talented, but they know how to like utilize their budgets, and like they will like they can give us gold without us having to throw them like buckets and buckets of money. Like, you know, like and to be like, it'd be naive to ignore that, even if you are like from like the old guard and you're like, well, that's not how we make movies back then, and that's how I want it. Like, no, you have to evolve with the time, and that's why I hate when people say like Spielberg wasn't really evolving with times, because he doesn't want to make movies for Netflix. Like, that doesn't mean he's not evolving with the times. He believes that movies belong on the big screen, and he's entitled to that. Christopher Nolan will never make a Netflix movie because he feels the same way. So, but they are very much aware. Like Steven Spielberg at 80 is aware of like where things are headed, you know, timely wise. Like, he knows what's current and hip. He's not a begrudging. No,
but I mean, also Netflix has become sort of, and they're sort of embracing this, they've become the king of sort of elevated brain rot. You know? Yeah. So, I mean, that you don't, if you're a filmmaker, you don't want to go to Netflix. If you're a real filmmaker, you don't want to go to Netflix. Yeah. So, whatever. True. I mean,
Well, speaking of utilizing minimal time, that was our last story, and we actually got it done in an hour and 10 minutes, which is like pretty good for us.
Well, I think, you know, I think what's great is like you're so intelligent on film and on movies, and you have this viewpoint that is uniquely yours, and then I just come in here and like blabber about shit, but I like want to talk about whatever. So actually, like, I don't think it's a bad thing that you and I, and maybe the viewers or the listeners, disagree. Maybe they can let us know in the chat, in the comments, wherever. But I like the longer episodes with you where we're going off on tangents, and like it's fun.
I don't mind them either, and I don't think I've gotten messages from people that they don't mind them either. So, but I am glad that I know that like when time. If it needs to, like, like if I know I got to get you out at a certain time, like, you could definitely like. I was like, okay, this many stories will work, and I don't think we'll go too long. I think, and the longest thing we went on was Dune, and that was that's necessary. That's why I led with that instead of like, I was like, I don't know why I sent you that trailer last.
We're gonna be on that one a while.
yeah.
No, I love it, man. I mean, I'm a professional. You're a professional. When we can always hit a deadline or whatever, but you know.
Yeah. Well, we did. I'm glad I was able to do it, and thank you for filling in. Kind of last minute and right before you do other things. As always, guys, thank you for listening to Back to the Blockbuster. This is episode 295. We were 5 away for 300. Still talking with Jackson about what to do for that
party.
We're trying to figure out something, but I'm sure it'll be good. Thank you as always for listening. You can catch us on wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Spotify, wherever you want to listen to us, but also the Playlist Studio app. It is essential, and they are a podcast network. They do a lot of work behind the scenes. Like, they're going to get this episode out really quickly because we're recording it like later than normal. So thank you, Playlist, for your efficiency as well. As always, thank you for filling in, Dustin. At this point, you are honorary news co-host as well.
I mean, I will take it, and I look forward to doing it many more times. So,
well, thank you as always for filling in, and until next time, guys, peace out. That's it for this episode of Back to the Blockbuster. Thanks for tuning in and geeking out with us over all things movies. Make sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and stay connected on our socials for more film talk. We'll be back soon with another episode. Until then, happy watching.